I'm good. I am just dying laughing because, you know, we know our friends and we love our friends, but we don't always work with our friends. And so I don't work in the world that you work in. And me trying to put together the camera where it needs to be to see what I'm doing here.
Oh my God, you look amazing. Are you kidding me? No,
it took more than a minute. And I feel shinier than I should be, but I'm going glowing.
You are glowing. You are truly glowing. And actually, George
in the studio, with the mommy loves you, now leave.
I'm so excited. I miss you. Do we have to do an IG Live to get together like this? I guess so.
Sadly, in these days, it's sort of it's the way of the world. Do you know that this is my first IG Live?
I was telling everyone, as always, oh my God, can I just say Holiday is the cutest movie ever. You are such a star.
You're so sweet. You know what? Thank you. I told you texted me and you made my day, and I have been so, I've honestly, not to sound like a Pollyanna, I swear I'm not. I'm really a very, very evil, dark heart on the inside. But I say lots of nice things on the outside. I'm just kidding. I have been so grateful to be a part of something that for this time of life is just making people laugh. That's it. That's all it's doing. And I do think it's kind of funny because someone in my family might have tuned in thinking it was a very virtuous, you know, very warm and cuddly family time movie. They might have been a little surprised.
There's some racy bits.
Yeah, but I also love the raunchy. Nobody knows this about me. Bring on the raunchy.
Your character was amazing. And by the way, like, I love that we had this conversation so long ago about how, like, you needed to be in a romantic comedy. And look at this. I mean, it's just meant to be.
It's been so much fun. After Grey's and after a decade of playing the same character that I could not have loved more, I just, when I got out of it, I felt like, oh, I need to manifest some super light, fun ensemble comedy, blah, 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 blah. And then the next thing you knew, there I was, and I was ecstatic. Like it was the first part that I decided to do in my life. So I went to it with so much excitement, and I got to laugh all day long. And you know me, I like to laugh.
It's so much fun, and you're right, it's exactly what the world needs right now. It's like, you know what, we're cruising on into the holidays, everyone needs a laugh, everyone needs to brighten up and to feel all those like good, warm holiday vibes. And
I know. Okay, so here's my question, because does today feel like the first day in the ramp up to the holidays? Is that what's happening?
That's what's happening. Are you feeling like the crispness in the air? Are you wanting to roll out some pie dough?
I'm definitely wanting to roll out some dough. Why your dough looks so much like my dough? I must be professional. Okay, so let me ask the queen of all things sweet, literally and figuratively. So in this first day of getting ready for all of our merriment, where I feel like collectively, no matter which side of anything you were on, I think the election being over has been something of a break for us, right? We get to just let go of some expectation and some anxiety, right?
Right. So, right, and let go of uncertainty. I think, like, you know, people are just, there's so much uncertainty, we kind of want to just move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, I feel like we're moving. So, our next piece, because we didn't really get to have Halloween, because that meant being out in the world. So Halloween was a little bit of a buzzkill.
Yes, this is for sure.
It was a muted down, tamped down Halloween. But
not that there wasn't a lot of candy eating in the Nelson household. I will say there was a lot of that.
Oh, I feel like my kids wish there was more candy.
You just send them on over.
They were like, it's the one day of the year that we get outside candy. None of this stuff you try to sell us is candy. I want something that says Reese's on it. I want something that says...
I want some ingredients I can't pronounce.
I want ingredients I can't pronounce, and I want, like, taste bud explosions happening in my mouth. Like 17 of them all at once. I want neon pink things that crackle in my mouth. Don't know why.
Something that makes me pucker up.
Pucker up, yep. Not sour, by the way, the one was sweet. Oh, you may bring Gus in and have him
I banished the kids, but I did not banish the dog. And of course, there's like the mailman's at the door, something like that.
I just did a live with Sweet Jess Cagle, and I went into Eve's room and I was like, okay, so just so you know, like that's what I'm doing. And she looks at me and she's like, oh, you're all glam. Yes, what? I don't look at this every day. And then knowing full well that I was in my office doing it, she didn't come in, which is what I asked her not to do. But instead, she just walked like this.
Just in case you forgot she was there.
Yes, again, cue the wind machine.
Oh my God, it is so working for you. I don't think you even need a wind machine.
No, I do. We
just
do. You know, you're right, because if we got flour out, it would be up here. So
it would, yeah. You know, it's definitely not food safety proof to have the wind machine.
No, not really. So what are your big questions? I mean, would you have, like, are you getting questions from, well, you're getting hello from Greece.
Oh my God, yes, lots of smiley faces, so many fans of yours. It's French style rolling pin.
Great.
Beautiful. And then we have our
dough.
It's been resting in the fridge and then also is now been out of the fridge, kind of coming to room temperature, so it's soft enough to roll.
Yeah, it is.
Do you have your pie pan standing by?
Oh, please.
So for those of you who are just joining us, we are bringing in the holidays today with Jessica Capshaw. Oh, beautiful. But you know what? I really prefer a metal pan and make sure that you get a crisp bottom crust.
It's
so pretty though. So perfect for your Thanksgiving table. But if you really like one of the big problems people have with pie dough is that soggy bottom crust.
Yeah, no.
Metal pan is the way to go to prevent that.
Wait, okay, so you're gonna solve problems. You're gonna solve some questions for me. So when it's got the undercooked vibe, that's because of the ceramic?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. You can get a great.
It might have been that I actually undercooked it.
Here's what a lot of people don't do. It's something called blind baking. Have you heard of blind baking? So basically, if you're talking about like a pumpkin or a pecan pie that has a single crust and is a custard style pie, you want to pre-bake the dough before you put the filling in there.
I've heard it. This is ringing bells.
This is ringing bells. Okay, great. So that is something that's called par baking or blind baking. It's basically,
I thought you said blind baking instead of par baking. I was like, blind baking. I've definitely never. Okay,
so blind baking is generally the same thing. You can call it blind baking, you can call it par baking, but basically it's giving your dough a head start in the oven before you add all your filling.
That's so nice of us.
It's so nice, very thoughtful.
Very kind.
So considerate.
Yes, moving into the holidays to be nice to your dough.
Okay, I'm gonna push this down for a second because nobody cares about my mug. They probably care more about my pie dough. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dust our surface with flour, put our disc of dough there, and dust that with some flour. Then we're gonna also dust our rolling pin with some flour. And starting in the middle, Jessica, we're just gonna start in the middle and roll up. And then we're gonna move it 90 degrees.
I'm back.
Oh, what?
I had to get my flour.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going too fast. So we're just gonna be dusting with flour and then rolling, starting in the middle and moving up and then rotating. And the reason we do this is we don't want to keep rolling over the same part of the dough time and time again. Because then we're gonna get some tough dough. We don't want that.
I know that I'm expanding my skills.
Now, Jessica, I know that you and your kiddos love to get in the kitchen and bake. Do you guys have holiday traditions that you do?
Oh my gosh, you're asking me to roll dough and talk, aren't you? You know what?
I know you're the ultimate multitasker. You have 4
As you know, my Eve Augusta Gavigan, although she wants to change her name to Eve Capshaw Gavigan, more on that later.
I'm intrigued.
I know, it's been a thing. She's obsessed with you.
Aww, I'm coming back.
Has watched all the episodes. Loves everything. I mean, it's really, I told you at one point during, I think it was this past summer, I would hear your voice so often that I would be like, Candace? Candace?
She was sugar rushing it, wasn't she?
She was sugar rushing it. Ugh. And I was so grateful that before, you know, the world went into the upside down mode, we got to come visit you. And it was like the thrill of her life to be on the Sugar Rush set. My gosh.
It was so much fun for me. So for you guys who are just tuning in, or if you haven't noticed on my feed recently, there are more episodes of Sugar Rush coming out the day after Thanksgiving, so holiday episodes. And what was such a highlight for me is that Jessica brought her family to set, and we got to hang out and take pictures, and we'll be sharing some of those photos with you. But I mean, it was the most fun day. Like, there was nothing better.
And it was the holiday show.
It was the holiday show.
And it was hotter than the face of the sun out in Los Angeles that day. But there was snow.
There was snow, and there were elves, and there were holiday jingles galore.
Yep. The whole, I should like come with a camera person, right?
Meanwhile, I'm making people seasick right now, trying to get this set up.
You know what? I think that they're happy.
Put them on the tray, the back tray. Okay, here we go. We're going for a ride. Okay, here we go. That's good.
Oh, I see. Not there. I knew you had someone there.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we did it. Yeah. Okay.
How big is yours right now?
What was that?
How big is yours right now?
Not too big. I've been kind of chatting and not doing much work.
Okay.
We're the same.
Same with me.
Okay. I'm going to show you a really easy way to know when you've rolled it largely enough.
Okay.
So basically, you're going to take your pan, you're going to invert it over the dough.
Yeah.
And if it sticks out the side by like 1.5 inches, you're ready. Now I have a ways to go here.
Oh yeah, I got a ways to go too then. Okay.
So people out there who are looking to up their baking game, because you know so many people were baking, you know, at the beginning of quarantine, Jessica. I know that you were too.
I know, and so I was going to say, so Edie was obsessed, and Eve started just looking at the Sprinkles cookbook and just, you know, just everything, you know, finding my phone, breaking into it like a little criminal, and texting Candace on her own to ask questions and whatnot.
I love her so much.
And then sending as many emojis as she possibly could. And every day was a different thing, right? In the beginning, because no one knew what was happening or when it was going to end. So why not, you know, pack on some pounds to help energize them?
Pack on the COVID-10, why not?
Why not? So yeah, then Luke got in on it, and then, I mean, truly at a certain point, we had like, there was this kitchen sign up. And, I mean, I've always been very, like a stickler for you gotta, if you make the mess, you gotta clean up the mess. But that got real, because people were coming in and not cleaning up.
So did you have to
I had to put them in a baking timeout.
A baking timeout? I've never heard of such a thing. You heard it here first, guys. It's very important, though, if you are going to be making a mess in the kitchen, you need to either clean up your mess or find a partner.
Yes, this is true.
Who enjoys the cleanup part.
But you know, Eve is getting so, I have to say, all that time, she started just getting so comfortable in the kitchen that even just now, when I was upstairs doing a little bit of work, she had a little bit. And in 25 minutes, she comes running up and she's got this little bowl full of yumminess. And she's like, do you want to taste my edible cookie dough? And I was like, when did you make that? She said, just now.
She's inspired. She's like, she's getting creative in the kitchen. You know, it's the ultimate life skill to be able to fix yourself a meal. I mean, maybe not edible cookie dough. You're not going to be able to subsist on that necessarily.
No,
like,
no, it's true.
It's life skills. We've got to all be able to cook for ourselves when we go out into the world. I'm so proud of her. She is the best.
Know. Well, and you know what's funny is I really do think it's true that most people either identify as a baker or a cook. Either a cook or a baker. I'm a little more of a cook, so baking. So just don't judge. That's why when you see me going, oh, we're rolling cake. How do you do this? It's because I don't bake very often. Not a big.
But you know what? I feel the same way. I really identify as a baker, and I think it's because I like to be told. This is terrible. I like to be told what to do.
Yeah, you
like,
do.
Chefs really, you know, you guys can riff in the kitchen, and you like a dash of this and a pinch of that. It's like
I know this about you.
Dash of this and a pinch of that. It's like
I know this about you because whenever we make plans and I say, okay, so where should we go? You say, you pick. And I'll say, okay, this restaurant is really close to my house, or this restaurant is really close to your house, or this other one in the middle. You Daniel Tonelli is crushing it again because I had another one of his new sandwiches, and I gotta tell you, they just keep getting better.
Oh my God, Jessica, thank you for your support of Pizzana and Daniele's sandwiches. The Grandma Joan is back with meatball sandwich.
It's so insane. That spicy, the Padrino is really.
It is. That's a classic. That's
by the way, it could actually feed me for like a week. There's no chance that thing is getting eaten in one day. Not a chance.
It's the sandwich that keeps on giving. Okay. How is the size of your dough? Okay, you still got a little ways to go. I'm gonna show people where I am.
Hold on. If I do my little paint. Okay, by the way, so give me some tips on like if one side if it's a little uneven. I just keep spreading out that side, I guess.
Well, it doesn't have to be, like, you're gonna be cutting off the overhang, and so if some of the edges are kind of raggedy, that's fine. Just keep rolling from the center and rolling out, and you wanna make sure that you're kind of picking it up periodically so it's not gonna end up sticking to the work surface. And that's,
you know what, I was vibing on that.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing perfect. And just a little shout out for my pie pop-up. I'm doing a digital course, so if anyone wants to get in the kitchen with me and learn the art of pie baking, I mean, we are doing it. So go to piepopup.com or click the link in my bio because we are going to master pies for the holidays this season.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What is your favorite pie, speaking of?
You know what? People keep asking me this. I really need to come up with like a good answer, but
you don't have an answer to that?
I mean, I love pie. Like, I love blueberry pie, I love chocolate pie, I love pumpkin pie. I think the thing is, apple pie is very interesting because it's constantly changing depending on the produce, depending on the type of apples you use. Yeah. So it's like, apple pie is probably the most interesting one to me. It's the most sort of...
And the spice level can change.
Spice level can change. There's so many different ways to like approach cooking the apples for the filling to be, you can pre-cook, you can macerate, you can just toss them in raw. Like there's a million ways to go with apple pie, so I find it sort of infinitely intriguing.
Yeah, it's a very provocative pie talking about. I wish my pie was provocative. My pie seems kind of basic. Yours seems extra. I'm not gonna have
provocative pie. But in terms of like,
oh my
right
gosh,
now we're making a
cookbook. It's your new cookbook.
It is my new cookbook.
What about things when I think about Candace? It's provocative pie.
I love it. Pie that presents a challenge. Provocative pie. There's so much alliteration going on, I can't even talk anymore.
Good.
Okay, I am going to show you how I transfer my dough onto my rolling pin. Okay. So I have a little tool that you might not have. It's called a bench scraper, but you can do this with your hands too. So basically, you're coaxing your dough. I'm trying to hold this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it up, but you're coaxing your dough onto your rolling pin.
Oh yeah.
And then you're kind of rolling it over itself. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. And then you're moving your pie pan into place and sort of lining up the edge with the edge of the pan and unfurling it over.
Oh, that's so interesting. See, I would have tried to like flip it like an egg, but this is better.
We would love to see you do that.
Oh, I just did it. Oh, look at me.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it. Totally did.
Oh my God, look at you go. You're such a pro. And then we're going to just coax the pie dough into the bottom of the pie pan.
I'm coaxing it because it's so provocative to me.
This is good
provocative
stuff.
Pie. Oh, I just got a marriage proposal. That's so cute.
Oh, you got a mirror. Okay, yes, that's beautiful and amazing. I get distracted by looking at her too. Aww, that's cute. Okay, so what I'm doing right now.
Argentina. I love all the different countries we have coming in here. By the way,
they like provocative pie. We're getting some good reactions to provocative pie. Some thumbs up.
But also, I can't wait till we get to go back to all these beautiful countries, right?
Oh, I cannot wait. Where are you going to go first once COVID is over?
Well,
besides a restaurant.
Right. I think...
What's on your bucket list for travel?
You know, I've never, ever, well, okay, guys, here we go. Only because I see a lot of you out there with the flags from Brazil. I have never been.
Let's
I've
go
never
to
been to
Brazil.
Brazil. I would love to go to Brazil. I've never been to Australia or New Zealand. I've never been to that part.
Oh,
So
good.
I think that would be definitely where I would like to go. I mean, that I haven't been, and where I would like to go that I have been, because as you know me, I like to find the delicious foods. I mean, Italy.
Oh.
You had me at hello. Italy and France, really. I mean, England, I love you, but not for your food. But France and Italy, you have my heart and my stomach going out.
I mean, it's just a eating extravaganza when you go to France or Italy, that's for sure. But I definitely encourage you to hit New Zealand and Australia. We've been to Australia. We were planning to go to New Zealand for spring break when COVID hit. So
I remember this. And
yeah,
how about your incredible? What about your incredible trip to Asia that I flipped out over and was like, please send me every single place that you went to. Every post was like, each one was better than the rest.
Talk about an eating extravaganza, Japan, man.
I know, and you know what's so funny? Whenever I pack for these trips, I always because I think I have 4 kids, and as much as it might seem glamorous, when you're shooting, you're actually really only wearing your cozy clothes because then you're going somewhere, you're taking off your clothes, you're putting on your costume, and then you're done. So I feel like when I go traveling is when I pull out my looks.
Pull out the big guns.
I pull out my looks. I organize the whole thing.
Are we talking looks like LEWKS?
We are packing loops, and they are down to accessories because you can't think when you're traveling. You can't plan.
You gotta overpack, right?
No, you don't have everything right there at your fingertips like you do at home. So I plan on my looks, and then I go somewhere, and I eat so much that my looks don't look quite like they looked in the mirror because all of a sudden.
By the way, I can relate to that just from the beginning day of filming at Sugar Rush to the end.
To
the last. Because the stylist, we tailor everything to within an inch of its life, but we are not thinking about the fact that I'm eating cake all day long for like 12 days, so by the time we get to the last outfit, it's a little snug.
But they tailor it within an inch of its life because you have the most incredible body.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't they?
You are
all
way
of
too
that
kind.
fabulous.
Maybe on the first day of filming.
I do recall, by the way, when we came, I was like, damn, that dress is just, it's just perfect. It's like, perfect.
Thank you.
Wait,
how is your pie doing, Jessica?
My pie, okay, hold on. I'm going to show you my pie and then I'm going to get a drink of water. Okay.
I mean, that's perfection. Okay. That's perfection. So what we're going to do is you're going to get some water, and I'm going to show people out there how I am folding over this overhang. Get into view there. Basically, you can fold, or you can even, if you have enough overhang, you can kind of roll it like a tiny scroll. And the idea is that you just want it to be sitting on the edge, the lip of the pie pan. And what we're going to do with this sort of rolled or folded over overhang is we're going to crimp it. It's going to be so cute. What's your favorite pie?
You can't make my provocative pie cute. My provocative pie wants to be so sexy.
It's going to be so sexy.
Those little, what are you calling them?
Oh, the overhang, like the rolled overhang?
Okay, rolled and overhang is not sexy.
Okay, so we're shimmying this crust into shape?
Yes. We're shimmying, and we're, none of the words that are coming to mind are very PG.
Manipulating,
we're, well,
zhuzhing.
We're massaging.
Massaging.
We're massaging our eye.
All of a sudden, what I'm doing with my fingers takes on a whole different meaning.
Whole another life. Oh, you said crimping. That's what you said.
I said crimping. Does crimping pass the sexy test?
Why not?
Okay, sure.
What are you guys watching right now, by the way? We just started The Undoing.
Familiar.
Oh, hello.
Tell me everything. I just finished Emily in Paris and Holiday.
Right.
And I watched My Teacher the Octopus, or My Octopus Teacher.
I think I told you to watch that. My Octopus Teacher is the best thing in the world.
It's so good.
Cried. How
is your crimped and massaged overhang doing?
necessarily pie, but you know.
No. We're going for perfectly imperfect. Love it. Gorgeous.
I achieved. I did it. Gorgeous. Perfectly imperfect. I did it.
You did it. So now we can either crimp it with a fork, like a very traditional sort of fork style with the tines of the fork, or we can use our fingers. Which would you like to do?
I'm getting my fork.
Okay. I'll get a fork too.
I've already gotten my fork.
Okay, so what's the undoing all about?
Yes, the fork. Okay, so I've only watched the first episode. A little bit into the second. It's Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. Who doesn't love Hugh Grant?
Love.
Love Actually, one of my favorite movies, and a little holiday-ish. And then I don't want to ruin it for anyone.
Okay.
Because anything's been ruined, but I would say it's along the. It's a bit provocative.
Okay.
And
that's in keeping with today's theme.
I feel like someone definitely did something naughty.
Uh-oh.
Yep. There's definitely some high drama that I think is going to unfold. And it's David Kelly, who's one of my favorite ever, because I got to work for him, and I think he's a genius. And he also did Big Little Lies, which we know we all love.
Who doesn't love Big Little Lies?
Love. So, yeah. It's good. It's really good. I'm excited to watch. You know, it's so nice for me. I don't like getting in bed and not knowing what I'm going to watch, because otherwise that phone comes out. Next thing you know, you're down some rabbit hole of you've learned nothing, you've done nothing, but it's 25 minutes later.
I've got one for you. Queen's Gambit. Have you watched that?
Finish it. I'm normally not a binger. I binged it. I just watched the whole thing. Yep, loved it.
I can't tell you anything you don't already know.
Yes, you can.
Except when it comes to pies.
By the way.
Look how gorgeous! Okay, here's what we're going to do next. You might like this. This is a little S&M.
Ooh, provocative.
I'm going to stab the pie.
Oh. Speaking of naughty. We're going to stab it and hope it comes back for more. I'm stabbing it.
So it's actually has a much more innocuous term. It's called docking. But today, for everyone's viewing pleasure, we're going to call it stabbing.
Okay, we're stabbing. Yeah.
And you're just going to do it along the bottom.
Got it.
And along the sides.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is because we're going to pre-bake this crust before we put our filling in it. And so the steam that rises when the butter hits the oven needs somewhere to go.
Somewhere to go.
You got it.
Make sure it knows the safe word. I'm a troublemaker. Not many people know this about me.
You are stirring this IG live up. Stirring it up.
I love getting Candace into a little bit of trouble. Like John Lennon said, good trouble.
Our audience is loving it. They are loving it. Okay, but here's the thing that I may not have actually, just thinking about this. Because when you blind bake the pie, first of all, we need to get this in a freezer or a fridge to firm up before we put it in the oven.
Okay.
But we're gonna actually weight it down. Do you have high weights?
What are you talking about? I feel like in Missouri, is that when I put like wax paper and beans or something on top?
Yes! You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
You can use that. You can use dried beans. You can use dried rice. You're not fooling anyone. You are from the Midwest and you know how to bake, girl.
That's exactly right. On my grandma's orange from Formica counter.
So I wouldn't do it now. So we're gonna put this in the fridge or the freezer to chill. But eventually, we're gonna line it with parchment.
Yeah.
Or aluminum.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put some either ceramic pie weights or some dry beans. I'll show you what I mean when I say ceramic pie weights. With these guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna pre-bake this before we make it into pecan, pumpkin, or chocolate pie.
You're gonna have to call me back with the whole whatever goes inside.
I know we'd have to have a much longer IG live to take you through the whole process, but this is
the doorbell's ringing. feel anything.
Yeah, later on. I'll DM you. I'll text you. I'll email
Okay,
you.
great. But I'm gonna have, but I'll tell the kids that they can look forward to some pie crust for dessert tonight, and that mommy will learn how to do the rest later.
I've got a really, really simple chocolate fudge pie recipe that will is one bowl and it's
You know what?
so good.
Let's make this a team effort, and we're gonna have Eve do that part, and then she can use my. It might be too provocative for her. You're right. She's only 10.
And then who's gonna clean up?
What do you think? Here's the worst part that I realized. This is going to be the biggest challenge I have, is that my rationale and my thinking is in the right place, which is that they should all clean it up, but my OCD and my compulsiveness about everything being perfect, or as close to perfect as it can get, which we all know is not true, there is no perfect, it makes me clean up after them before they've done it.
Well, at least they can give it a first sweep, a first wipe down.
Yeah, exactly. First pass.
You got it.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my god, this was so much fun. I love baking with you. Next time we need to get the whole family.
Okay, great. Anytime.
We'll get your baking elves in there with you.
You Capshaw Gavigan, I'll be very happy.
Oh, I love it. And congratulations on Holiday. It's the cutest movie. I loved it. You were making me cackle as you always do.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I love you, and I get to watch you all the time. It's like on demand watching you. It's amazing.
New episodes coming out soon, and thanks again for coming to visit the set. That was really fun.
I know, it was the best. We had so much fun. And by the way, it's an even more precious memory for me now that I know that it was born once it was almost towards the whole lockdown.
I know. We got it in the nick of time, really. By the way, people are already freaking out that you're leaving. They're like, no, don't leave. That's sweet.
Well, by the way, can we please make it? Can we just make it a priority that I get to come be on Sugar Rush next year?
Yes, you have to be on Sugar Rush. You guys, how much would you love it if Jessica was on Sugar Rush?
It needs to happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
this kind of magic happening, like in multiples. Many of these.
So many.
And
you wouldn't even have to make it. You would just eat it.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna make sure that I get a really well tailored dress next to you, and I'm gonna put on my super tall heels because you can't see me right now, but
you have to because it's really fun when we get to
Candace.
tower over Hunter March.
This is Candace and this is Jessica.
No, that's not true.
No, it's a little bit like that. I'm like, hi.
Hardly. Don't believe her, you guys. She's full of it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy beginning to the holiday season, and I love you.
I love you more. All right.
Bye, guys. Bye, Jess.
No idea how to turn it off.
I can't reach it.
None. Oh, look.
Okay.
Bye.